Welcome to the Green Parrot, a soul sauce workout by Dr. MLE Beach Witch. This unique soul sauce workout is designed for when your inner critic is shouting at you, you're desperate, you don't know what to do. This workout will help you to turn around, say, hey, what's up? Listen to what she has to say, and then figure out how to collaborate with her. There are a lot of mental workouts out there that will help you do the same. This workout is unique because we're going to literally get out of our heads, anchor back into our bodies, and use physical movement to start to metabolize, right? To really process the stories that your inner critic is telling you, the thoughts she's bringing up, how she's making you feel, to just flush that out of our body. So all of the movements in this workout are complex, right? They are also designed to distract you, get you on a different track into a meditative flow where then from literally like a new physical place, you can start to process the stories, thoughts, feelings, and emotions that your inner critic is bringing up. This is a core-based workout, so we'll be working abs, lower back, glutes, a little bit into our quads as well. You need yourself some wall space. The wall is one of the most accessible props there is and really, really great for processing stress, anger, frustration, anxiety, all the negative emotions our inner critic tends to bring up. Some kind of prop, a yoga block is ideal. You could also use a lightweight, a book, a can of soup. Keep it light, right? The prop is there to is really just there to trick us into getting deeper into our core. I'm going to start with my shoes on, but eventually we'll be up at the wall and we'll take our shoes off and be working with our socks. So if you want to go barefooted for now, that's totally fine. Just know that eventually you're going to need some socks. Water, right? Always good, especially if we're trying to flush our inner critic out. So as I talk more about the workout, I'm going to get us started. So you are moving and physically flowing as I explain more about the radical science behind this workout. And so you can see I've got my mat ready to go for the wall phase. We're gonna get there about halfway through. Make sure you've just got enough space in front of you as well. Coming into a tabletop position, grounding your hands into the floor. So really give me a good grip here. Feel your fingers flexing and working. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, down dog. You might want some music for this workout. That's up to you. If so, now is the time to cue it up and then meet me back in down dog. So while you're here, press your shoulders through, lift your hips high, reach your heels to the ground. You might want to lift and raise your heels as we start to, again, move out of our heads into our bodies, get the blood flowing the other direction. This is the warm-up. It's a basic sequence I'm borrowing from yoga, coming forward, high into plank. So bring your chest forward, your shoulders maybe a little bit past your wrists here, hips a little higher than you might normally do in plank, navel in. Push it back. Repeat. Plank. Hey, baby. Aw, you know I need some love. Haha, that is the best way to deal with your inner critic. Get some dog love. So, inhaling down dog. Exhaling plank. I've designed this workout in 4 stages. What? Like W-H-U-T. Why, who, and how. We will be spelling the letters in each question, in each word, with our bodies. And as we do so, we'll be having a conversation with our inner critic and asking some questions related to the what, the why, the who, and the how. All right, last one like this. Come forward, hold it here. Drop your hips, but keep your toes tucked. So it's like up dog prep. Push back, down dog. Up dog prep, drop all the way down. Yeah, start to loosen up lower back and hips, where we store, again, a lot of stress, anxiety, negative emotions. Pretty sure that's where our inner critic hangs out when she's not yelling at us. So start to limber up, loosen up here. Inhale. As you push back, exhale. Really working range of motion, building some flexibility and some mobility. Are you wondering why the green parrot? Do you already know? Do I even have to explain? 2 more. Just let you meditate on that for now. All right, check this out. Hold this here. Last phase. We push back. So hips to heels, knees bent, and then up to down dog. Hang out in down dog. Watch me. This is the entire 4-part flow. Plank, up dog prep, heels to butt, butt to sky. Plank, up dog prep, heels to butt, hip to sky. Join me. So again, this complex movement is going to invite you to shift focus on how your body's moving. Our goal here is to limber up through our lower back, through our hips, get the blood flowing the other direction, and start to increase range of motion. So the green parrot, because parrots are always yelling at each other. I live in South Florida, and there was a flock of green parrots that was migrating somewhere else. They don't usually hang out where I live. And there was a flock of them at a park I love that was just flying from one tree to the next, yelling at each other, yelling me and my dogs, yelling at the tourists. And I was like, wow, you all have a lot to say, and you gotta say it right now. Kind of like our inner critic. Let's do 2 more, and we'll get into the workout. Starting with wood. Hold your down dog. Take your feet wider here. Shift forward. Give me a strong plank position. So again, your chest and your shoulders may be a little bit past your wrists, navel into spine. Feet are on the outsides of your yoga mat so we can tap the knees down. All right, here's our W. So imagine, right, knees are tapping into the W, then push back through your heels. So what's up, right? What are you trying to protect me from? What story are you afraid of? What story are you trying to tell me? All right, so this first round, what's up with the inner critic? Just really wanting to dig deeper, like what's underneath the story that you're telling me? How about 4 more? Whew. So getting at the personal details, the historical events that are underneath the story that your inner critic is shouting about. Flip it over, grab your prop, your block, your book, your lightweight, come down on your back. That prop goes, so actually I lied. Oh my gosh, I'm such a liar. How can I do this to you? It has to be a book or a vlog. All right, so feet to knees to hips, 90 degrees, elbows in. Give me good tension there, right? So we are in an isometric hold for our upper abdominals, and then we alternate. Moving on to the H. Yes, you have to use your imagination to see the letters, but you know what I'm talking about, right? You can kind of see this as an H. So still, getting curious. What is up? What's the story? What's the narrative? What is this desire to protect, right? A desire that's so deep that it's actually self-sabotage. Push it out through the ball of the foot. Yes. 5 more on each side. Use your breath to flush
that story out, or at least flush the surface level story out and start to get underneath it, because she's never telling us the real story, not all of it. All right, flip it over. As we flip it over, starting with our left leg, so you're back in that tabletop position, your right elbow comes down and your left leg extends, right? So right elbow down, left leg extended, long and strong U. So up to the side, down in the middle, up to the side, down in the middle, up to the side. So I was raised to be very efficient, which is one reason why I thought, all right, inner critic, you're not gonna shut up. So I might as well work you out. Might as well lift and round my butt while I try to figure out what is up. So you could also start to ask your inner critic, like, what goal do you have for me? What do you hope for me? What do you want for me? I mean, I think that ultimately, it can sound like or feel like she's sabotaging you, but there's something else there. There is, right, a kind of good intention that's been warped. And if we can find, right, that seed, that original intention, again, we can move from trying to combat her, from trying to ignore her, to listening and working together. 4 more here, right? So I really want you to lift and give the side and bottom of your butt a good squeeze, using the long lever of your leg to get deeper. Is that the last one? I think so. Oh, yes. Oh. Same thing. Other side. So left elbow down, we're in that tabletop position. Extend your right leg long and strong, up to the side, down to the center. Focus here for a moment on what your body's doing. Again, side and bottom of the glute muscle. How good, how really good does that feel? And so part of this workout is also, we can feel good in our bodies, even and especially when we feel, like really awful in our minds. It's possible to be in that kind of paradoxical space. And I think in a way, a lot of times we try to think our way out of situations. We try to fix, right? A negative mind loop or thought pattern, when we could turn to our bodies. Our bodies are so much wiser than we give them credit for. We've also, of course, by now got our breath, right? We got our breath heated up. Our breath is one of the most magical, right? Most magical healing tools we have, super accessible. So the breath is starting to flush the system out. 4 more, big ones. So I like to imagine I'm a child and I got a Sharpie and I am drawing a U on my mother's favorite wall because I don't care. So start to channel that energy. 1 more big one. Yes. Flipping over for the T. So like I promised, working all the way around our core. Start with your legs on the diagonal outside your yoga mat. Crunch. So a baby crunch, rolling ribs to hips. Check out this pattern. Crunch, hop in, crunch, hop out. How is this a T? Trust me. All right, so this is the end of round 1. This might be all you have time for. This might also be all that you need. So you can totally end the workout here, or maybe just go back through the what, right? Maybe you're also like, actually, I'm still at what right now? I'm still maybe figuring out those exercises. I loved that U. I really want to come back to it. So make the workout work for you. 4 more. Exhale up, inhale down. So we tap Then we hold. We tap. That was sets, by the way. And yes, I'm counting. So again, we're using the long levers of the legs to get deeper into our abdominal wall. Last one. Moving on to the Y. Coming back to that same W position, so transition through tabletop. Tuck your toes under into plank and feet wide. If you need to detour through child's pose or down dog, that's totally cool with me. All right, so again, shift weight forward. Navel to spine, hips a little higher, W. So we are building some muscle memory as we come back to some of these letters. I will also be layering on. So if you're up for more of a challenge, check this out. Tap, lift. Now it's really starting to look like a W, yes? Now we're also introducing some instability, which is going to get deeper into our abdominal wall and fire up the muscles that support our spine and give us good posture. The posture we need for life. So we can stand up tall, strong, and confident. We are also, in case you're not already feeling this, working our entire body here. Quads, glutes, abs, back, delts, pecs. 4, yes, sets. Why not? Our question is, why? So we can start with, why are you telling me this story? Again, what's the impetus? What's the real reason for telling me this story, for bringing up these feelings and emotions? We flip it over and we come back to the H. So again, the block or the book. Good tension, good tension. And alternate. Push. So again, trusting that even though we might not like what she's saying, she might be making us feel awful about ourselves, that why, right? There's a real place of like kindness and compassion that's coming from. The why could be to protect. The why could be to remind. And I think that ultimately, the real challenge is how can we make that why more motivational? 2 more. Again, we can always grow the move. I'm always counting in sets. All right, so right leg extends up and down. Yes. All right, so maintain that isometric hold for the upper abdominals. Really focusing here, lower abdominals and obliques, resisting the weight of the leg to get deeper. 3, 2, and switch it. So using, again, the long lever of the leg to get deeper, just like we're using these questions to get deeper into, whatever is up with our inner critic. Starting to treat her like we would a friend, right? Rather than trying to shut her up or criticize her, just being like, okay, I love you, but you're really stretching that love right now. Let's start to work together. 3 more. Can you feel that? I know it's so good. 2 and 1. There's one more letter. I know. The Y. All right. So again, feet in that diagonal position. This time I want your right arm extended, left arm behind your head, and you crunch across, right? So we're keeping the right shoulder down. We're keeping the left elbow open, shoulder coming across to opposite leg. Yes, I see this as a Y. And the goal here is really not to get high. The goal is more to be long. So you might, if you've done other abdominal routines, be, tempted to lift up. Stay low. Stay low. You will actually get deeper. 5 more. So I was listening to my inner critic lately, or attempting to listen to my inner critic. Switch sides. You know, I made this workout because I was really struggling my own self, and I was feeling desperate. And in moments of desperation, I always turn to fitness. I always turn to my body, right? Our bodies are our allies. They're our companions. They're here to help us in these moments. And one thing I learned is that my inner critic's why is she wants me to be safe. And she's got a lot of, you know, personal, familial, right, ancestral, and historical wounds around money and scarcity. 5 more. So she was yelling at me after a job interview that she thought that I botched. 2 and 1. Okay, so that's my why. Moving into the who. As you do so, please bring your mat up to the wall. You want to take your shoes off here. And the wall, kind of similar to the prop we've been using, gives us that kind of push-pull motion, that tension or friction that helps us to get deeper into the muscles that we're working without actually trying that much harder. Okay, so get into the wall and then slide up. So butt first, then slide. Once you're here, bring your legs a couple inches away from the wall, open. So you can stay with a V or get all the way into a straddle position. Here is our new W. So tapping the wall, you can come all the way up, all the way down, or you can give me a pulsing motion. Legs long and strong. I like to flex my feet. You can do whatever you want with yours. So the who, pretty obvious, right? Who are you? You know, whose voice do you represent inside me? If we think about internal family systems, right? Is that a part of me? One of the many parts of me that lives inside me? Is that an external voice that I've internalized? Say, you know, my mother is you know, often the option, or, you know, some teacher. You know, usually those externalized voices that get internalized do go back to childhood. Give me 5, 3. As we move to the H, you might want to do that more slowly than I just did, because we're actually in a deep stretch there. Bringing the legs up, putting our feet on the wall, lifting our hips up. And you might need to adjust a little bit here, because I do want feet to knees to hips. We got that 90-degree angle up on your upper back and your neck. You can give me gentle pressure right behind your lower back if that helps. This is handstand prep. We're actually in, again, a stretch here. We store a lot of stress, anxiety, negative emotions in our necks, so we're flushing that out. And I am noticing as we're here that our feet are going to go outside the frame, but that's okay. This is a very relatively simple move. So here, this is an H, y'all. Yes. So I want you to push your whole foot into the wall and really, again, get some good friction tension as you make this H, sliding your feet up and down the wall. You know, so after I got my Y, which honestly, I don't know what my what is yet. I mean, you know, this is an iterative process. It's not linear. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to just let the what roll around in the back of my mind. But I got my why. She wants me to be safe, financially secure. She's got some, maybe the what is a scarcity mentality. So now who? Who is she? 5 more. Yes. 2. And all right, bring it down. Walk your butt away from the wall. So again, we've got feet to knees to hips, 90 degrees. Again, you need your prop. You need your imagination, but you know that already with me. So this O, right, we're actually making a circle. So I'm going right to left. Do remember which direction you're going. As we pass behind our thighs, we crunch up And then as we come in front of the thighs, do release all the way down. So, we just released our head and neck, so let's not build pressure there. Roll ribs to hips. Exhale up, inhale down. Just like the long lever of the legs, we're using the block to trick ourselves into crunching deeper. So, do I want to talk about my poo or not? That gets pretty personal. And this workout is about you. It's not about me. So, as I think about whether or not I'm going to share my personal example, that's what I'm thinking about. Would that be helpful to you? 5 more. Yes. Good. That is the end of round 3. I know, so soon. We only have one more phase in this workout. So again, butt to the wall, then legs up, moving into the how. All right. Handstand prep. Give your head and neck a brief release. And then start walking those feet. How? So how can I collaborate with you? How can we work together? How can I listen to you, and in turn be heard as well, right? So whatever messages, stories I'm receiving around safety, financial security, a scarcity mentality, okay, I'm listening now. But if we're going to work together and collaborate, if this is going to be a dialogue, my inner critic also has to listen to me. So how I'm going to speak to her, how am I going to frame my perspective, my story, my version of events. How's that heat feeling? 5, 3, 2, yes. Slowly lower, and again, push yourself back. O, going the other direction. So now I'm passing left to right. This is one of my all-time favorite abdominal moves, y'all. And in fact, I love this workout. I really want to go through and do each round a second time. So if you've got the bandwidth for that, I highly encourage you to do so, because I feel like I'm just getting somewhere. My body is feeling really good. I want to build some more muscle memories with all those awesome alphabet moves. And I'm just also getting to the place with my breath, with my endorphins, with the heat in my body, where I'm feeling like I can learn. I have some confidence now. I believe I can learn how to collaborate with my inner critic. And I'm definitely judging her a little bit less, which hopefully translates into judging me a little bit less. How about 5? Yes, get in there, big crunch. 2. Last working move is a W. So we got to bring ourselves back up. Check this out, y'all. Feet away from the wall. You take your arms really long, make a T, and slowly windshield wiper. So we're starting to strengthen and stretch simultaneously, which is becoming really my trademark as a fitness professional. I think one mistake we make is that we do one or the other, or we think we have time for one or the other, and often we'll pick strength, right? Because that seems like more effective use of our time, where we'll get more results. And especially as I age in this very athletic body, I feel like my body just responds and feels so much better when I combine strength and stretch. Take your time here. Key for this move is to stay in control. Keep pushing your butt into the wall. How about 4 more? I just don't want this workout to end, y'all. But I respect that you have lives, that you're here, right? Because you want to get back to your life feeling nourished, stronger, happier, more confident. And you know, like maybe you haven't resolved anything. Probably you haven't. I mean, it's really too soon. But you started to flush some things out to get the energy moving physically, mentally, and emotionally. Hold it here. Left leg all the way down. Oh, that's such a nice, that's such a nice view of my crotch, y'all. All right, you can stay here in this L, or if your body allows, bring the right leg down as well. So again, arms out into T, look the other direction. As we know from yoga, twists are really great for wringing out, you know, our backs and then flushing out toxins. Again, which might be lactic acid, might be stress. And you might want to stay in these final stretches longer. Please, I invite you to do so. As we transition very slowly back to the L, the crotch shot, and a slow transition over to the other side. And again, if staying in an L is where you're at, please, please be gentle, right? You've already got your inner critic, your inner green parrot, shouting at you. So let's be gentle with our bodies. So just as I said that, I thought about, you know, coming back to that visualization and, you know, what if I, instead of thinking of my inner critic as 12-year-old, preteen, precocious, perfectionist, anorexic me, what if I think of her as a green parrot who's, you know, like migrating, right? Who's moving on, who's gonna be heading to, you know, another tree, another park. Slowly come up. Actually, let's slowly roll out. So keep going. You're ready to get out of that. Keep going. A few postures just to really unwind here. Take it to child's pose. Sit your hips back to your heels. Walk your hands to the wall and then slide down. So you might need to adjust so you can get your hips to the heels. Your arms can be long and strong. Drop your head between your biceps. Deep, cleansing breaths, transitioning back to the rest of your day. Feeling again stronger, happier, and more confident.
Thank you for joining me. More soon. Please subscribe and stay tuned. That's all for now.